Hey, AfterBuzz fans, tonight we finally get to see Alison and Cole reunited, and we also get to take a little peek into what the kids are drawing on people's faces now. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Tonight we are covering Season 4, Episode 2 of The Affair. So happy to have y'all with us. They are jamming over here right now, and I don't get to jam right now.
My voice.
Yeah, I do.
An avalanche.
I don't think we'll ever not go crazy in the beginning.
And
when he died, his widow.
Next week we're going to do the techno version of it. And made you.
All right,
That's what the lights are.
It's better when Lem is here because then he can like.
He beatboxes for us.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I can't beatbox.
Come on, April.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
There's always next week, April.
Exactly. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Like I said, we're covering Season 4, Episode 2 of The Affair. I'm April Whisenhant, of course, joined by my lovely ladies, the Alison Dean. Notice I said the Alison Dean.
The Alison Dean.
And Nadine Della Pelle.
Hey,
How y'all
guys.
doing?
We're good.
We're great. We're
That was
missing
great.
Lem. He'll be back next week. He was just
I know.
out for a little bit.
But it's ladies' night. You know, I
Yeah.
always love a ladies' night.
At least one per season, right?
Exactly.
We've got to have at least one.
just one.
Maybe
So we
this
want
will
him
be ours
back.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank y'all, everyone that's in the chat, for joining us. We want to know what y'all thought about tonight's episode because it was another good one. But I want to, well, what did y'all think of it, actually? I say that and I'm like, oh, what did y'all think?
Well, I was happy to see Alison and Cole back on the scene, right? I mean, it's been a minute. I feel like there's just still a lot to take in, you know? Obviously, the perspectives of stuff that happened in this episode were conveniently differing, but they also didn't overlap too much, you know? Like, so the stuff that we saw with Alison's story were clearly unto Alison for the most part. It didn't really give us much into the realms of, like, the business dinners that she wasn't at or what that looked like. I don't know. I thought it was a good episode. I wasn't disappointed by anything.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was a little slow. It was definitely a setup episode, but they need that.
Yeah.
After, being gone for so long now, we needed that long recap we had in the beginning, which I thought was great because I forgot a lot of the little stuff that happened. So it was a good little setup. But it was okay.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm excited. I think next week, or not in 2 weeks, I guess, when they come back, I think more stuff will come to fruition.
Yeah, I think I really liked Alison's part. Part 1 almost was a throwaway to me.
Oh,
And-
Cole's whole part?
yeah.
Interesting.
And it kills me because I love him so much. But I was like, this is so random. And maybe they are setting up for more stuff. But it seemed like, I was like, why are you chasing this kid? Why are we bringing up the drug stuff? Like, is that going to chase you forever? And maybe it is, but it seems like there could be better things to talk about, and that. What do you?
I think. Well, so here's the thing. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're trying to show how Cole is feeling beat down in his own life or something, and so I think the kids. And that whole just, him being on the beach and, being bumped into and the photographer's telling him to move over and just kind of like him perhaps feeling a bit of a victim in his own life or just not... Like, there's so many things that are going well for him, and yet he's still not feeling like the king of the castle, or you know what I mean? And so I think that's what his part was giving us a little bit, and just, how everything is not so great with Louisa.
Yeah.
Or it seems that way. There's just a lot of struggle happening with the two of them, and anyway, so...
Yeah.
That's very true. Well, let's just go ahead and get into it. Before we do, I want to make sure y'all are subscribing to us on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. We love to have y'all interact with us. We want to really hear what you say. Make sure you comment. Click the rate button, subscribe, everything, and let us know what you think. Okay, so part 1, obviously, is Cole tonight. Loved seeing him back because I love me some Joshua Jackson. Well, we all do. And it kind of starts off where they're talking, it's, all about Cole and Louisa today. And they are kind of going into that whole deportation thing.
Right.
I'm currently looking up this tweet right now from Sarah Treen, but I can't find it. But essentially it says that, remember when Louisa first came about, they kind of softly touched on her being an illegal. This is 3 years later now, and her being an illegal is a much bigger deal, meaning like in the real world United States today.
Right.
So clearly they're going to make a big to-do of that this season. So do you like the idea of them doing that, or?
I think it is touches upon what we're facing right now outside of the show and in reality. But I'm just so confused as for if they've been married for 3 years now, why hasn't she tried to apply for citizenship to get a green card?
It sounded like, at least with how Cole was trying to make her feel better, it sounded like they did try.
Oh.
I thought I heard him say, "We can try again for your green card."
Oh, they said that. Well, you know.
I think that's what I got.
He did say that. I'm looking at a tweet from Sarah Treem right now, and she says because she came here legally, it doesn't matter that they're married. Clearly, I don't know very much about that, but it seems like there are different things that you could do. Like, I thought there were some sort of like forgiveness programs. That's not a correct term whatsoever, but if you've been living here for a certain amount of years and you've been working, but she hasn't really been working. That's why she said, I don't have any special skills. I don't have any of these things that they require, that if you originally came here illegally, maybe like with your family, if you were a child or something like that, then they require you to have done this many things for this many years and whatever.
I was immediately thinking that if for sure the franchise owner people wanted to hire her in Miami, I thought, well, they can definitely pull some strings and figure out a way to get her something.
Well, maybe we'll see that come later on.
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, they can pull some strings. They know some people.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's of course another big part of their whole interaction tonight is this Marshall group, I think is what it was called, contacting Cole and Alison to franchise. And it seems like she keeps saying, and he even mentions it, she's like, this is a great opportunity for you to franchise the lobster roll, which apparently is a huge success. And people for years and years and years trying to make it a thing, but I guess Cole has the magic touch. Apparently.
Right.
But it's good to see him like actually doing well in that sense, business-wise anyway, because they struggled for so long. But she keeps saying, like, this would make you a rich man. This would make you this. Why do you think is she just insecure in their relationship? Because he immediately calls her out on it. He immediately is like, it will make us rich.
I think she's insecure, but I also think she's insecure for a reason. I think he makes her insecure in many ways, just based on his relationship with Alison. Because she can see it. She's not an idiot. I mean, she's very, very perceptive, I think. And so she can tell that there's, when he's in a restaurant, he's looking for like the woman that looks like it could be Alison and, just, dropping everything the minute that she calls. And that would make any, I think, woman feel a little bit insecure. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, I think then on top of that, her status as well. So that's what she keeps saying. Like, I can't write a check. You have to write all the checks. Everything is in your name. I have to use your credit card. Yeah. All of that. And so her life is literally tied into his. And so she has a reason to have fear and doubt because he goes crazy with Alison every single time. Obviously, there is still something connecting him to her, which he won't admit, but we see it constantly. And she has every right to have that fear. And I could only imagine what that's like. That must be so terrifying. Someone else is controlling basically your life and what's going to happen to you.
I'm so like I go both ways on it because I see that it's clear. I was just reading this Deadline article that the creators did before it actually premiered, and they said, Cole, this season is all about how Cole just hasn't been able to move on from Alison. For some reason he can't, and now he's like fully realizing it, and it's kind of like him finding himself. The whole season is supposed to be about every character finding themselves, essentially. But so it's clear, just like you said, that he still has these things for Alison. We see in this lunch meeting that didn't happen in her part, but did happen in his, or maybe that's what she missed in her part, where she's 45 minutes late and shows up with wet hair and does look like disheveled and very unprofessional. And I mean, he has a good reason to be upset, but it's just, you can just tell, like, with the way that they speak with one another and that they, even in the way that they argue, it's clear that there's just some, I don't want to say unfinished business, but there's still, like, that spark, that connection. That they've known each other for their entire lives thing. But I go the way of, like, clearly he hasn't been able to move on, but yet they're married. He's married to Louisa. And is she gonna, nag him forever about it? It's like you either have to move on and do something else if you don't think this is ever going to end, or you have to, do something about it, or you have to accept it. Like, I don't know. It's like, what does it help her constantly bringing it up? I think it probably makes it worse.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing, is that no one's dealt with their emotions or their feelings. Cole has never actually really sat and looked internally at what's going on. I think even past the passing of their son together too. So I think all of this has just constantly been building up. So yeah, to answer that question of just like what's going on basically, is he doesn't know, and I think that's what he's constantly trying to figure out. And he's trying to be this manly man and just like pushing his feelings to the side. And now we're just seeing that in every instance. He's seeing Alison here and there. He's always getting in fights. He expects more out of her, but he doesn't need to expect that. You know. Yeah, it's crazy. Cole, check yourself.
I'm also okay. So in his part, Alison was in school every time she missed something, but in her part, she was at work. So is she at school or work? I think she's at work.
I think she's at work, but she's in school at the same time. So she was like, I was late because
I'm studying.
I'm doing this, I'm so stressed because of this. But he more so sees it as like that taking over her life. But because he's always seen these like extra little things that she does or he's always seen her in a sense of being not fully capable because everything else is more important than what they're doing. And we kind of see in her part, it is more important than what, he's doing.
In his part, though, he was making it seem like she didn't want him to sell it. But in her part, she made it seem like she didn't care whether or not he sold it, and it seemed like he was hanging on to it for reasons that he's not. I mean, this goes to what you were just saying about him not facing like most of his emotions about stuff.
Yeah.
So that's interconnected.
She actually says in her part that she wants to sell it. She's like, it's full of bad memories for me. Like, let's just let it go. So I think it's just another thing in his mind. Like, he thinks Alison like basically plays fast and loose. He thinks that she is, I don't know, he projects his feelings onto her.
Right. Yeah.
I definitely don't think he wants to sell, or it's clear he doesn't want to sell because of the connection that they have
together.
Exactly. And that's the biggest thing. I think.
And he says that to her in her part. But of course, he's not gonna admit that to himself in his own mind.
At least not yet.
No, yeah, he's not. And I think that's the thing, is like he's needing to check on his emotions. He's holding on to things for some reason, a certain way. And we even see him kind of get knocked back into place when he's trying to, saying to the kid he's gonna call the cops on him. And then reality comes back like, hey, you're not the king of the castle anymore. Like, your brother is one who sold me Coke when I was 15. Like, calm down here, bro. Like, let me run away because you can't do anything anymore. And I think that's just such a reality check of where he is now.
April hated that part.
I'm like, what does it matter that his brother sold you Coke? Like, his brother's dead. Like,
yeah.
What does it matter? Why do you let this? I know it's just a shocking thing to hear. Like, by the way, bruh, guess who sold me my first 8-ball? But when they were in the bonfire, I didn't know if they were. Well, I guess I should know this. I was like, are they like doing meth?
Yeah, I don't know. It was meth or crack or something.
Just
I don't know.
open on the beach.
Yeah, I mean, it's on a beach. They're kids, April. Yeah. Kids will be kids. Kids will have fun.
Well, they were actually like pretty grown, but
yeah.
Kids. I was like, they look pretty old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if it's more like symbolic of how Cole's feeling, how they kind of started off his part with him, I was about to say snowboarding. Oh my gosh. With him surfing and everything, and then the kid that that he eventually sees in the bonfire, and that steals his wallet or whatever, bumps in. He's like,
Grandpa.
Get out of the way, Grandpa. And then
also, he does not look like a grandpa.
No,
okay?
no. He looked hot
He's
tonight.
looking fine.
He had a tan.
Cole, we see you.
We see you. Fully see you. But I was just, after he and Louisa get into this big fight after the dinner, we'll talk about that. But, and that's when he walks up on them at the bonfire. First of all, I was like, is that a Montauk thing? Is that a Hamptons thing where people just randomly join bonfires?
I'm sure. That looks fun. I mean,
well,
I've been to a beach town.
And Nadine's in.
Yeah, I'm in. I've joined, I've been walking on the beach with friends and ran into other people and sat and, it's just a social thing. And also, it's a smaller town, too.
Right, that's true.
Just the weird thing is that he has such an age difference with these kids.
Yeah.
And they were rude to him before, and they're clearly doing some stuff that Cole should not be doing.
Yeah.
So all of that was not a good mixture.
It was when he was walking up to the bonfire, though, it's as though in his mind he knew it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
And yet he still was like, okay, well, let's just see what
He was
happens.
stressed, trying to let go, but then it just turned.
Backfired?
I felt really bad for him. I think he just needed like just to breathe for a second, and then they just all took advantage of him.
Breathe away from the crazy people that are gonna draw on your face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would have also been
And steal
like,
your wallet.
what you're saying makes sense. Like, I've done that many times with friends, but it's always people around the same age as you.
Yeah.
It's just weird that he sat down with even, you know, he's not old. They're not super young. Let's say they're mid-20s. He's 30s.
I think they were just
30s,
people. I think it was just people who were sitting there having fun drinking. He started talking. They invited him to sit down. He recognized the guy, and I don't know.
I guess
I don't know. You're looking deeper into it.
I am, but because I feel like it's like masking something.
Yeah.
The second, you know,
Him
you
wanting
see
to be
people
young again. Maybe?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it's definitely represented pieces of that
Yeah.
because now he's Mr. Responsibility, or
Yeah.
he at least feels the weight of the world. I think in some ways with Louisa and Child and Allison and restaurant and all the
And
things.
remember, Allison says to him too, like, you have become that guy, basically. Like, you
Yeah,
drive
you're
a
the guy,
Jeep, you tip like a banker, like, you are the epitome of everything you don't want to be.
I used to drive a Jeep. What's wrong with driving a Jeep?
Driving it is great.
I know. If in fact he said that, right?
Yeah,
it's
so
like-
we don't know
Yeah.
whether or not he said that.
That's true. I guess. I don't know. I was just confused by that. I didn't like it. I thought it was, that's why I feel like his part was a throwaway thing. I was like, why are we talking about this? There are more substantial things to talk about.
They're setting us
Yeah.
up.
True. Okay, I do want to talk about the dinner. So just to kind of like broaden the whole thing, they're talking about the franchising the lobster roll, like we said, and they set up this dinner, which of course we know that Allison misses, even though in her part it was never even referenced. So I'm sure it did happen, but whatever.
She didn't care.
Yeah, and he seems to like. I wrote in my notes that he's almost kind of having some sort of anxiety episode while they're sitting there. The waitress pours him wine, and it's just all kind of like everything goes fuzzy, and he just hears them talking, but I don't know. And then he sees this woman that I thought was Allison from behind as well, and he kind of like and sees it.
He gets
and
all nervous.
And that's the second that Louisa is embarrassed. And I understand, like, that's embarrassing. Well, no one else knows what he was doing, but she knows exactly what he was doing, which then caused this huge fight. But in the meantime, these owners are like, oh, well, we have this restaurant in Miami. We'll set you up in a penthouse. And I'm like, he has never gone to Miami.
He's like, yep, we'll talk. Yeah,
I know.
Great, we're going to Miami.
Even though Louisa is like, oh, this could be great for me. And I thought that was weird whenever she mentioned it when they got back home and they're in this huge fight. She's like, this could be amazing for me, but I can't even think about that because of her illegal status. But I'm like, you know he's not going to go anyway, so what does it matter?
Yeah.
But I still find it interesting that she is, I don't know, not being more of, maybe I just love Cole too much. Because I find it odd that she's not being more of like a supportive wife in the situation. Take the Allison stuff out of it because that would have made me hella mad if I was her too. But I think that's what we've seen them kind of lacking in the past as well. And he lacked that with Allison too, though, so I can't even say anything.
Yeah.
But it's because she's not being like, I don't know, she is being like, let's take this, but then she's just kind of annoyed with the situation. So
I think that she is supporting him. She kicked butt at the dinner meeting, and
That's
she kicked
true.
butt at lunch, and she was starting to learn Mandarin for them.
Hello.
She was doing the cheers.
Yeah.
She was
Oh,
talking
I
while
missed
Cole.
that. She learned Mandarin for them?
Well, probably. I mean,
Oh,
she said
yeah.
she's been studying
Oh.
up on it, so I don't think just on her own. So she's like she's been holding her own, especially, Allison's not there and supporting him, telling him that he needs to take the $2.1 million in this deal because it'd be amazing. I mean, they have sex on the
2.1.
counter after. She's so excited about it. I mean, who wouldn't be?
That was hot.
Who wouldn't be excited? So I think she is. I just think that it's once again, which she has every right to feel the way she feels, I think, with the whole Allison situation. It's been years now. She's dealt with, basically raising that child too when Allison was out of the picture. If we forget, that was, 2 seasons ago?
Yeah.
She's done so much, and she's stuck around with Cole because she loves him, and he's just, because he hasn't gotten his emotions in check. He hasn't discussed it internally.
hasn't gone to
figured it
therapy.
Exactly.
Right.
He needs to go to therapy. Like, boy, if anyone does, him and Noah, man, they need to go. I mean, not at the same time.
They need some, lay down on the couch for a very long time therapy.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
actually, I think jury's out right now on Noah needing to go to therapy because I think the whole Brendan Fraser thing last season
I thought we were never talking about
Not
that.
but I think that's sufficiently, like, that was a therapy on some level. So I need to, like, see the rest of the season and then assess if Noah still is in need of therapy. I think he might have gone through between like prison and that and just like everything. I think his like mind has been tossed around enough. Whereas Cole, he could use some like straightforward therapy.
You know, it is like therapy for me. I know for us is discussing all of this after.
Right.
And so for you guys, all of you AfterBuzzers, if you guys are enjoying this after show and you guys want to look at other after shows for other shows you're watching, we have a bunch for you. Here at the network, we produce after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There's no network that works harder to serve television fans. But now we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. Besides helping us a ton, here's what's in it for you. It caters specific content you already like directly to you, which is great. It brings you your favorite after shows so you don't have to seek them out. And it suggests content from other channels or podcasts that might interest you. Sounds fun, huh, Allison?
I think so.
So subscribing to our YouTube channels will also help you discover new shows we're sure you'll love. Since you've already tuned into The Affair right now, you may be interested in a few other drama-type shows. The Bold Type, Queen of the South, Claws, 13 Reasons Why. There is many there, so please check it out. And remember, we have channels for other genres too, so please don't be shy about subscribing to them either. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. And so it's so easy. All you got to do, once again, is just hit the subscribe button now for an even easier AfterBuzz experience. And if you let us know that you did in the comments, we'll shout you out on air, which is fun. So thanks for being the best fans, and we promise to continue to serve you the best way that we can.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we'll get to that therapy in for you.
We really do have the best fans, though.
We do.
Legit.
You guys are so fun, and we love when you chat with us, too, throughout the show.
Oh, yeah. Trying to pull the chat back up because it just went away.
Oh.
Before we get into Allison's part, I want to mention the very first opening scene of the episode with Cole and Noah. At the gas station. It was the same thing that happened in episode 1 that we saw in Noah's part, but this time we see a kid get into the back seat. Or I say kid, let's say teenager, get into the back seat. He's like, all right, are we ready to go?
Yeah, because in Noah's version, we saw them outside of the car and going to get in.
Yeah.
Now in Cole's, we're in the car, and it's like, oh my gosh, every week are we just gonna get like a 1 second glimpse?
Probably.
What is happening?
You know how they do that to us.
Oh man.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Is there any significance of this kid being in there, or there's just no way for us to know yet?
I don't know. The only kid stuff that we can correlate it to is Cole wanting to hang out with the younger kids. So I don't know. That's the only thing I got right now, which makes no sense.
Cole's just trying to be young.
Yeah.
Y'all.
So if you guys have any ideas, you guys have any predictions on that, let us know. Comment in the section.
Yeah.
The only thing that I might think, and this is only related to what you said as we were watching, is that, and this is in regards to us talking about Allison now, so perhaps I'm jumping forward.
No,
Let's go, girl. You got it.
But what if this guy was like in the army with Ben?
Yes. Hot Ben is what I'll call him.
Hot Ben.
Hot Ben.
Ooh, Hot Ben. Hey now.
Well, Lynn here, all we do
up?
is talk about the men. Sorry.
I know. When
Anyway.
Lem's gone, we talk about the guys.
Maybe there's something there. I don't know, but that's what came to mind. Perhaps he's an
Has something to do with
army bud or something.
Yeah. Well, because what I had said when we were talking
share.
with Allison,
Share with
so what
all of them now.
I initially said was that there's something I felt a little off throughout that whole interaction. I know that maybe they're just trying to introduce a new character and they're trying to do like a cute way of him saving the world and saving her life.
Yeah.
But for me, I felt like if we know that something happens, that Allison goes missing, or I think it's her that goes missing from what we know, that he may have something to do with it, because what else would, other than a new character that kind of gets thrown into this? So anyway, so from that, that's where Allison's little prediction comes from.
Okay.
Anyway,
Big
I don't
prediction.
know. Maybe.
So she opens up. She's now, we see her, I guess she's a social worker of sorts. Is that what you would call it?
She's a peer-to-peer counselor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, I would say it's a la
social worker
Yeah.
of sorts. And she's working at a facility that is, I guess, focuses on families who have lost a child. And she's talking to a woman named Abby and telling her how they've been having all of these troubles. Her son drew this, drew this like really troubling picture of his dad. It was just like, a face
Demonic.
with all these,
Yeah.
with all these circles around it, just
Scary.
colored circles. And she talks about how the dad has ever since their, I think, daughter died, he's just, he drinks too much, he goes off on people. She's basically describing PTSD. And that ends up saying that she knows that he would never do anything to their son, but that she is kind of scared of him. And Alison advises her to leave him, essentially. If you're scared, you have to get out. You can't put yourself in that danger. And I'm thinking to when Cole later tells her in the episode that her whole identity is about, Gabriel's death, or she's basically made it her whole identity. And I think, he clearly doesn't know what she's doing, because, she does have a very sweet picture of Gabriel on her desk, which was so sad, because the lady asked her, and I'm like, is she ever going to be able to, well, of course you don't want to, forget about the kid's memory, but I'm like, are you ever going to be able to, not have that be such a heavy thing for you? But I guess probably not. But it makes me think, he clearly has no idea. It just goes to show, how he sees her again as well, because he's like, oh, you're doing this, it's about Gabriel, but she's actually doing so much more.
Right.
But then I also think, oh, you really do just have a knack for getting yourself into these, dangerous situations.
Yeah, I think this is her type of therapy. I think her handling and because I think she's helped someone else in the past too go through the same type of struggle. Yeah. I think that's her coping through it, and I think it's such a jab if it actually happened. And that's the thing, we don't know what actually said or what actually happened.
That's true.
So I don't want to blame Cole, but if he actually said what the heck are you doing, basically, why do this, and making kind of fun of it or making light of it, that's so messed up. I think it's amazing what she's doing. I think she should be doing that. And I think it's a way for her to keep his memory alive, for her to understand what's happening, and if she can help other families in the process, but dealing with people with PTSD and dealing with crazy traumatic stuff, you don't know other people and their energy and their personalities, what's going to happen, which we experience.
Exactly. And she kind of, she takes on this role of the saving people, because we've seen this parallel before, because she needs to be saved herself, or she used to feel that way. So she kind of puts that aura out with everything. And just to kind of tie her part back into Cole's, we do see him kind of chewing her out on the phone. It's how they always see each other. He sees her as being so nonchalant, and everything she does is important. She sees him as being almost like a dad, like a nag figure, oh my gosh, you're missing this again, what are you doing? But these other things that she's doing are so much more important, which it's been the same way in the past. So I'm like, a lot of people say, just on Twitter or on YouTube and everything, that they think that Alison and Cole have this thing, that they're the ones that are supposed to be together. But I'm like, I feel like they have this thing that they just can't seem to get over. But then again, she does still call him for help when her car breaks down.
They've gone through so much together. It is I don't think it's ever something that they could ever come back from. I don't think they're ever going to be together again, but they've lost a child together. They have a child right now together. Yeah. They didn't even realize was their child together till months into that child being born. All of this stuff, and she calls him because he's the father of her daughter, and she has no one else really, because who else would she call on?
Noah's in California.
Would you be pissed if you were Louisa? When Alison calls and it's just because her car broke down, or her battery went dead, sorry.
If there wasn't a child involved, yes.
Yeah, right, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Oh, and she was there, and they were on the way to school. I don't know, I'd still kind of be pissed. I'd be like, oh, you can't call anyone else, you don't have, AAA, because eventually you do have to stop relying on someone. But with their history, and I guess with the neighborhood and stuff like that, she just feels like it's not okay. But enter Hot Ben. Maybe he can be the one that
Scary Ben.
Scary Ben. Okay, I think Ben's hot. Of course, he comes about in a very casual way. I forgot, what was he there for?
To meet with someone else on the first floor.
About giving a grant.
About giving a grant. He's there for the VA. So in this so she meets him very casually. He leaves, and then a patient or someone knocks at her door, and we find out that it's Abby's husband, named, I forgot, but I will find it. That's okay.
Trevor?
So it's something like that.
Oh, sounds good.
He walks in and
verifying.
He walks in and he's
locks the door.
It's like Mike.
Pissed.
I don't know.
Yeah. And he immediately is like, what are you thinking? Why did you tell my wife that she should leave me? We can't afford to do this. And then you can see that he's just
getting
slowly
more
but surely getting more antsy or getting more aggravated, because she's remaining very calm, and she's like, you shouldn't be in here. Let's go talk to someone. And he, essentially just like attacks her and chokeholds her against the wall, which is why I said she has a knack for putting herself in these dangerous situations. And, you know, it's maybe, I guess it shouldn't come with the territory, but I feel like it probably kind of comes with the territory anytime you're telling someone, oh, you should leave your husband or wife, and they've just been through such a traumatic thing.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just terrifying that anyone that comes into a room and just locks the door that you don't know and just stares at you with like this posture he had. Woo, baby, I was scared for her.
Yeah, I was too. You know, I think when Alison was talking to Abby and said, you know, you need to get out of that situation, you know, temporarily removing yourself from a dangerous household is not saying that you're permanently removing yourself from a dangerous household, right? So that part for me was, I don't know, like maybe Abby heard it incorrectly. Maybe Abby shouldn't have told her husband, whatever it was. I mean, obviously there's a lot going on there, and this happens, you know, in everyday life more than we want to know. But I think that was like, I wanted Alison to say, you know, clearly you are dangerous, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what do you think this is?
Sir, please back away.
Right.
Well, when Ben comes in and saves the day, like a Superman or possibly a scary Superman, who knows? First of all, he's straight up like just headbutts, or not headbutts the guy, bangs the guy's head on the desk.
Boom!
It was kind of hot. No, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying there's something else there that's going to happen, and I know it.
That's okay.
I have a feeling.
Well, so he comes in, and when they're walking the guy out, Abby, like, looks at Alison all upset.
Giving her the death stare.
Like,
Yeah, what did you guys think of that?
well, I'm sure it's like, okay, now he's going to jail after he just went through this, but he did just, like, give her the chokehold up against a wall. So you can't not do something. You know, she called security. It's not like she's like, oh, immediately arrest this man. He attacked me. But he did ultimately attack her. And sometimes in a situation where people need to, like, you know, be scared straight, maybe he does need something else, because, you know, he was screaming about how they're spending $350 an hour or however long for her to come there, and they can't afford that. And I mean, it's just like Ben said later when she's like, how did you know something was gonna go wrong? And he's like, I've seen people with a ton of PTSD. He was looking for all the exits. He was rubbing his fingers together. He was, I don't know, look to shove. I forgot exactly what he said. But, you know, maybe in that situation he needs something. But I'm sure Abby at the time was like, oh my gosh, he just lost his daughter. You know, he said when he was attacking her, he's like, I felt my 7-year-old daughter go lifeless. She turned blue. Like, you can't bring her back. Nothing's going to change her. And it's terrible to see someone, you know, it's not like he did something. He did something happened to him that was out of his control, and he's having a bad reaction to it. But it's also like, you know, you can't just let people chokehold you because they went through something bad.
It's that fine line. It's like, I mean, I'm sure she's just like, I think the look that she gave Alison was probably just like annoyed of like, really, now I have to deal with this on top of everything. And I think she was angered that maybe Alison let it go to that level. She doesn't know the whole story. Right. Obviously she was scared of her husband, but no, I think there's just a lot happening there. There's a lot going on, and Alison got caught in the crossfires, and she did everything right. Like, I mean, we shouldn't do anything. Just call security. Like, you have to call security. You can't just be like, haha, funny joke, okay, Mike.
I just knocked you out.
All right, see you later. See you next week. Like, no.
Good talk.
Yeah, great talk. Let's lock the door again next week. Like, no. And, you know, we can't even make light of it. It's just, no, you call security, you get the guy taken out of there, and you get that handled, regardless if he just lost his daughter. He needs to be punished.
But then we see she invites Hot Ben out to coffee, or she asks him for a drink, and that's when he says he's sober.
And celibate.
And
And a killer.
What? And I'm like,
I'm just kidding.
And I'm like, here you go again with a person that has PTSD. Like, these people with, not that there's any, first of all, I know it affects a lot of people, but I'm like, Alison, you really know how to pick them. Like,
she's
you
just
have
attracted
Noah
to that.
with all of this. You have Cole
Healing.
with all
She
of
likes
these problems.
to fix people.
Yeah.
I guess. But
help. She likes to help people.
When they're at coffee, he starts telling her about his life story.
Yeah.
When he asks her if she has any kids, she says, yes, I have a daughter. And I was almost like kind of proud, because do you say in every single instance, yes, I have 2 kids, one of them died?
No, you don't say that.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
So, but she used to almost every time. So I was almost like proud of her, even though that's a weird thing to be proud of. Whatever.
No, I get that. I get that.
so then he starts telling her all about himself and about how he is sober. And I can't even hide the fact that I didn't think this was so weird. He was sober because he couldn't get it up. Literally, that's what he said. That he
on your first date. That's what you talk about.
Well, I was just like, wait, you're going there right now? And he addresses it like, whoa, I normally don't give people my life story after meeting them hours ago. But I'm just like, it's been a recurring thing with her topic on the show, these people being like sexually charged towards her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, here we go with another guy, and the first thing that he's telling you is that he is sober because he couldn't have sex because of his PTSD. So therefore he got drunk so that he could, but he doesn't do that anymore. But then what's the line he said that you love so much and I love so much too about him?
Oh, that was a good one. You know, like he wants to be present with a person that he's in love
drinking?
with.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe after I get through my program of 5 months, 2 weeks, and 3 more days, I'll meet someone that I don't want to be sober for because I won't want to miss any of it.
I want to be sober for.
Yeah. What did you guys think about him Skype calling her the next day? Do you think it's too forward to do like a video chat call immediately?
Yeah.
Or like, should you have texted or maybe given just a phone call? Like that popping up on the screen also just terrified me. I was like, oh, there's just something weird about that too.
I was like, just click the phone. Don't click the video. Like, why would you do that?
I don't know.
I thought it was weird. I wouldn't immediately FaceTime with someone. But I did think it was cute what he said. What are you doing in 5 months, 2 weeks,
He
and
gives
2
me the
days now?
heebie-jeebies. I don't know.
Now that you say that, there is something about me that's like,
I
okay,
can't.
because it's just a little too forward. It's just a little like, you don't. Okay.
Yeah, but you guys, you also have not had someone save your life the like previous day, and perhaps he has some form of attachment.
She did.
So that's why he feels connected because he saved her, and she feels
your life. Answer my video call,
and she feels like I can honor him with a video call.
No, I mean,
honor him.
I just think it's weird that he told her about his sex life after only knowing her for a few hours.
Sometimes you meet people where you're just like, I don't know why I'm telling you all this stuff, but here I go.
Yeah,
like,
I had an awkward Bumble date once. Never lasted to a second date.
There you go.
It was way too much info.
It didn't go to a call the next day, a video call the next day.
Did he try to
I racked up the wine bill and I was like, peace. No, I think he got the...
That's exactly what
he
I
understood. I was like, really? This is the combo? Okay, bye.
Well, she can't drink. She can't drink with him, so what can she do?
What can she do?
But she was kind of into it, which I thought when he was like, whoa, why did I just do that? I thought she was going to be like, okay, no, that's kind of weird. But she's like, well, I asked.
Yeah,
so tell me more. I'm like, no, not again. But he's cute, so we'll see. I don't know.
I think her life, too, is... and based on timelines, time has passed since all the drama with Noah and stuff. And so I think she is in a more monotonous rhythm right now with her schedule and the daughter and the work and the home life. And so I think this new Ben guy walks in and he's being quite interested.
Yeah.
And then saves her from a terrible situation. And so I think naturally she's intrigued.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know, girl.
Her interest is piqued.
We'll see what Ben is like. But I want to talk about them when Cole comes to take her or to help her with her battery. How Joni, cute little thing, asked him to ride with her to school because she wants to be like the regular parents.
Yeah, and also, can we just say once again, how can that be so off in both of their stories?
I know, which thing?
They drove to school together.
Oh, right.
Or they went in separate cars. Right. I don't understand how that gets confused, but it's okay,
well,
whatever.
But I'm trying to think. Technically, in his version, it's not impossible. Because right after he went he went and found.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he calls Louisa in his car. But I mean, I guess, I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Like,
I'm so over trying to figure that out now.
know.
But yes, felt bad for the girl.
Right.
Felt really bad for her, and I'm happy they actually went and did it.
And I think it's Allison still like recognizing herself that he has this thing of where he kind of just can't say no when it involves her.
I think she likes it.
Oh yeah, because Allison still, even though she tries to fight against it, she still has that thing of wanting to be wanted, and everyone does. But what?
I was just gonna say, like, if I was Joni, I would have been like, "Hey, Dad, maybe let's do this tomorrow when all that stuff is off your face."
Yeah, because he's waving by.
She's
He's
young
got a
enough.
bow tie and a penis on his face.
She's young enough though. She's not like middle school yet, where that's embarrassing. She's 6.
Yeah.
Daddy's funny. Oh
Yeah.
wow, like or
was
daddy's
like-
scary.
I was like, do not show, like, you know, teachers standing out, principals out front of the school, and Dad has a, I don't know.
That shows
Dad's
how
looking
much he
all
loves
UF.
her though. He just didn't care. He's
Yeah,
like,
that's
I'll take my
adorable.
baby girl to school.
Although we don't know what his actual face did look like.
Yeah.
It might not have had the penis on it.
I bet it did, because in his like, no one just draws on someone's face right here and wherever it was. You draw.
Like some crazy
You
bow
draw-
ties.
you draw a penis on.
Yeah.
Have you guys
penis.
ever drawn on someone's face when they passed out? Because you know that rule, if you pass out, or this is what it was in college, if you pass out with your shoes on, everyone has the right to draw on you.
Oh,
so
I
you
didn't
always
know
have to
that.
take your shoes off. Okay, I don't
Oh,
know.
I
Maybe
didn't
I thought it
know
was
that.
just passing out in
What
general.
school is that?
Oh, this was at Syracuse University, and also a little bit in high school. So I don't know. Go Q's, go
Same.
Orange.
If
But-
my mom is watching, I have never done that. If she's not watching, yeah, of course I've done
of course I did. See, there it is. See,
that.
there it is.
You have to. Whatever. Okay.
college.
Now I want to talk about our special segment,
Yeah.
Asked and Answered.
Ding!
What do you
that
have
was
for us?
great. That was
I love
wonderful.
the
I
ding.
do too.
All right, so we have a good question, ladies, and this, I'm so sorry if I say this name incorrectly, but Kieran Smith, Kieran
Yeah, and let's just
Smith?
remind what the segment is. Just
Oh,
for
so
people
you guys all ask us some questions. This one came from YouTube comments, but you can also ask via Twitter, via our Instagrams, pretty much wherever.
Yeah.
I mean, technically you should tag me since I'm the one that's going to be finding all these questions, so just saying.
The Alison Dean.
At the Alison Dean. Yes, ask us anything, and if it's a very meaningful and thought-provoking question,
There you
we
go.
will chat about it.
We will answer it.
So this one came in 2 days ago. Kieran Smith. I think Helen will. This goes back to last week's episode, by the way. So this is about Helen and her storyline. I think Helen will question her own sexuality with the new neighbor. This is why I think she's making an issue with Martin also questioning his sexuality. What do you all think?
Whew, I mean, like last week, I know when we talked about this, we were a little bit iffy of whether or not it would be, if it was her sexuality. I think possibly yes. I feel like there is the gay storyline now happening with her son, and so maybe because of that, she's going to explore something. There was something there. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I'd place my finger on it right away as like a sexual tension.
Right.
I don't know. I can't answer that question right now. I don't know. I have to see more. So for right now, I guess I'll just say no.
I don't think she has been questioning her sexuality. Like, I don't think it's ever come up in her mind before, but I think that is what's going to happen on the show. Like last week, I think we predicted, or some of us predicted, that she was going to be pregnant because the girl like talks about her that she was glowing.
Right.
But no, I think it's going to be more of a like, ooh, why do I feel this way? This person like is so free and so opposite of me. But I think they're going to play with that attraction there. But I don't think she's ever like questioned it before, but I think that they could go there. What do you think?
So for me too, right now, I'm not convinced yet that Helen is uncomfortable with Martin's sexuality, just based on how different her perspective was from Noah's when we saw that all go down.
Yeah.
So right now I'm thinking that I don't know. I don't really have a comment on that. I'm assuming though that she's cool with it. I really do.
Yeah.
Like she strikes me as someone that should be, based on what we know about her. I think that I don't know about the neighbor yet. I know the neighbor. I think Helen is intrigued by the neighbor in this, Helen's uncomfortable and yet also is like, stay and let us do, let's have wine together. That sounds like a great idea. Mm-hmm. So it's like a push and pull thing where she's uncertain of, the road that lies ahead kind of a thing.
New territory, kind of.
I think it could, this could be an interesting new storyline for us.
It's Callie. You never know.
It's a great question. Kieran's
thank you for
He
that.
stumped us. I mean,
Yeah.
we're just all like, I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, possibly. I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah.
Trevor. Rainy J said Trevor.
Oh, what did I say?
I don't know. What did Alison
Trevor.
say?
Did I say Trevor?
Trevor for who?
I don't know. I'll have to watch
Trevor
it back now.
is the son questioning his sexuality.
Yes.
Oh,
Said
the
Martin.
son. Oh, no.
When you said she's questioning Martins.
Oh, that was in the question. Do we?
Oh,
sorry.
Oops. Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
No, Trevor was the guy, was the husband coming in to strangle Alison. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Rainy J, you said Trevor, ladies. LOL. Who are you talking about?
Trevor. Yeah, Trevor. I think that was the guy that came in and strangled Alison.
Trevor's also the son.
Trevor is also a son as well.
Wait,
there's a Trevor and
Trevor. I think
Trevor
so. Maybe it wasn't Trevor.
Well, I'm like
Anyway,
super confused.
You know those people we talking about.
we need to do predictions.
I'm like, I think Nadine has like 17
And now,
You got 17.
your
Predictions?
AfterBuzz
or one.
TV
Oh man.
prediction.
Well, she said the big one.
Yeah, well, the big one I've already said is I think that Alison's possible new love interest is actually going to be the demise of her for this season. Yes.
Emily Bates in the chat says, I think he has PTSD.
Ooh.
Well, he says he has PTSD, but I
does.
think he has, like, recurring.
And I think it makes the most sense that something bad is going to happen to Alison, and now we see this new character, like I said, be introduced into her life, and I think that it can only go bad. So as much as, yeah, he's, he's our sexy Ben, he's also scary Ben for me. Like, there's something there, and from the moment that he met her, all of it just felt forced.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something that he's planned on doing, or if it's something that now is just going to happen because they know each other. I don't know. It all felt a little off. So that's one big prediction. Also, I think that something big's going to happen with Louisa. I think that whole storyline is actually going to play out more, where she may go to jail. Something may happen. She may get caught by ICE. I don't know what it is. But I'm scared to see that. I'm just scared all around because I like Louisa. I don't want anything to happen to her. And then just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Does anyone else have like weird feelings about that? Please let me know, because am I the only one?
Well, Rainy J said he doesn't think that Ben will have anything to do with Alison missing.
All right. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe that's just the craziest prediction out there.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I think for me, it's a little premature, I think. But I'm wondering if Alison and Cole are going to have any... It just, to me, like, they left last season having such heat.
Yeah.
And then we get to today, and it was, like, gone.
But
I love your diagrams.
He went back to Louisa, that's why. She said it's up to you.
But you can't, like, that doesn't just disappear. And
Well, clearly it has.
I think all of season 3 disappeared.
Well, yeah.
What happened to that?
I don't forget. So anyway, so I'm wondering if that is going to continue to show itself to us.
Yeah.
I love this so much.
I know.
The hand gestures.
With our hands,
yeah,
everyone.
Allison, thank you for that.
I think that something is for sure going to happen to Louisa.
Dum dum dum.
Whether that be very ominous or not, I think they're bringing up the deportation thing for a reason. I don't think it's just going to go away. Or not deportation. Well, I guess ultimately it would be deportation. I don't think it's going to go away. This isn't the kind of show to introduce something and just that be, a one-off.
Hopefully they'll resolve it in a happy way.
Yeah, and not her getting kicked out. Or if she leaves, though, then
that
Cole's, girl, I see what you're doing.
You have my brain right there.
I got that. Oh, wow.
If Louisa is out of the picture, it does kind of leave the room for, let's say Ben is crazy. And I'm feeding off of your prediction, of course. But let's say Ben is crazy and does something, then Cole will rescue Alison, and then that leaves... That's how we come back full circle with the two of them.
And Noah's coming back there, too.
Oh, that was like a mic drop right there.
Wow.
Situation.
Okay.
Guys, we got deep there.
We'll see.
Wow.
We did get deep. Let us know. Be sure to let us know what y'all thought, because episode 3 is right around the corner. Even though it's going to be Noah and Helen, I want to know what y'all thought. Y'all can find me everywhere at April Whisenhant. Where can they find y'all?
You can find me at the Alison Dean.
And you can find me at Nadine Della Pelle. Thank you very much, guys.
See y'all next week.
See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.